Chapter 20. When we returned to Annie's apartment, she handed me Bruno's leash and asked me to walk him. "Sure thing, my dear," I said. I wanted to remain pleasant, but I felt that Annie was trying to keep me away from Lisa. Was she jealous? I guess it would be understandable. I was, in a way, married to her. I knew what she looked like naked, and Annie knew that. She knew I had feelings for her, even though I had mentally given her up. When Bruno finished his business, we went inside and found Annie and Lisa at the dining room table. Annie was at the end of the table near the kitchen, and Lisa was sitting beside her on her left. Each had a cup of coffee in front of them. There was another cup on the table to Annie's right. "I poured you a cup, too," she said. "Have a seat." I sat down next to Annie and took a sip from the cup. "Did you guys have a nice conversation on the way back?" I asked. "We sure did," Annie said. "Lisa told me so much about her husband, Alex. She said he was a big nerd when she met him in college." She smiled at me when she said that. "Is that so?" I asked. "What is he like now?" "Still a nerd," Lisa said. "Maybe a little less nerdy, but I wouldn't have him any other way." "I'm glad you two are happy," I said. "I ordered Chinese food, by the way," Annie said. "Good," I said. "I'm starving." "Tell me," Lisa said, looking at me. "How are you involved in all this? You were quite vague earlier. What are you not telling me?" "It's more complicated than you can imagine," I said. "After the last few days, I can imagine a lot," she said. "Does Alex know?" "I will find out one way or another. Alex's father was killed. I was kidnapped. My family is in danger. I won't let this go." "Can you give us a couple of minutes?" I asked and motioned for Annie to follow me. We stepped outside and closed the door. I said, "I know this whole situation is difficult for you. Having the woman I remember being married to right here in your kitchen must be very hard. I can't tell you that I don't love her, but I can tell you that because I love her, I can let her go. She needs to be with the real Alex, and that is what I want for her. I have mentally let her go." "Is that true? Do you really feel that way?" she asked. "Yes, I do," I said. "I can tell you something else that's true. Even though my memory of you started only a couple of days ago, I feel like I've known you my whole life. I don't know how it happened so quickly, but I have fallen in love with you. I know I asked you before, Annie, but I'm asking again. Will you marry me?" Annie wiped the tears from her eyes and kissed me. She hugged me and whispered in my ear, "I will." When we finished hugging, I said, "Now, what should we tell her?" "I think she deserves the truth," Annie said. "I suppose she does." With that out of the way, we went back inside and sat down with Lisa. I started by saying, "Lisa, do you remember when you went with Alex to see his father and he ended up hooking you two up to his machine?" "Did Alex tell you that?" she asked. "Not exactly. Do you remember what the machine was designed to do?" "Sure, it mapped all our memories or something like that." "Do you know why Alex's dad then took a job with Parker Biosystems?" I asked. "Not exactly. I think he wanted to find a way to give people their memories back." "That's exactly right. They were working on a device that could take those recorded memories and re-implant them. Alex's dad learned Parker wanted to use the machine for something nefarious. The machine worked, but his father erased all the data pertaining to the recording of new memories. The only memories Parker had available were memories that were recorded years earlier. Those included Alex's memories." She looked at me for several seconds and asked, "What are you getting at?" I looked over at Annie, who shrugged. I looked back at Lisa and said, "I was part of a security team assigned to protect the research project that was going on at Parker Biosystems. One day, I overheard something I shouldn't have. To keep me quiet, they overwrote my memories with someone else's memories. That someone was Alex." It took Lisa a little time to process what she heard. She looked at Annie, who nodded. She looked back at me and asked, "Are you saying you have Alex's memories?" "That's exactly what I am saying," I said. "I'm sorry, but that is just too crazy to believe," Lisa said. "Ask me anything." "Okay, why did we pick our kids' names?" "You need to ask me something from before that day in the lab," I said. "However, I think I know the answer. Stephen was your grandfather. He was killed in Vietnam when your mom was too young to remember him. His wife, Elizabeth, treated you very well, and you always talked fondly of her. She was still alive the last I remember. She passed away not long after that day in the lab. I'm so sorry, I said. Okay, Lisa said. The night before we went to see your father at his lab, what did I tell you? You told me you were pregnant after you put Chinese takeout on our fancy dinnerware. I tried to make it special. You did make it special, I said. Alex is lucky to have you. If you heard the same story from him, would you believe it? Yes, she said. Then call him, I said, and handed her my phone. She hesitated momentarily, then got up and said, Okay, but I would like to talk privately. She dialed the number and stepped out the front door. I looked at Annie and asked, Do you think that was a mistake? I guess we'll find out. A couple of minutes later, the door opened and Lisa came back inside. She handed me the phone and said, Okay, I believe you, but I find this very weird. I don't know how I feel about a stranger knowing all my secrets. I mean, how do you even feel about me? I don't even know you. I can't have you obsessing over me. I love my husband. I know you love your husband, and he loves you. You have nothing to worry about, Lisa. I do love you as Alex does, but unlike Alex, I am not in love with you. I have come to terms with who I am. I may have Alex's memories, but I have John's body and his heart. I am in love with Annie. I reached over and squeezed Annie's hand. She squeezed back. That's a relief, she said. I'm very happy for both of you. My concern now is what we are going to do. I mean, psycho bitch is still out there. What's to keep her from kidnapping me again, or worse, killing us? Those are good questions, Annie said. And to be honest, we don't know. We're working on it, I added. I think you will be safe here until tomorrow. No, she said. We can't stay here, not knowing what I know now. You can't stay at a hotel, I said. Once you run your credit card, they will know where you are. I'm sure they will take cash, Lisa said. Yes, but they still run your card and block off a few $100s in case you trash the room. When you check out, they unblock that money, but there is still a record of it. I know a motel that doesn't do that, Annie said. You will have to give up some luxuries if you know what I mean, but it's not in a bad part of town or anything like that. How would you know about something like that? I asked. Do you think your fiancé has had some flings on the side? Annie asked. I know about it because, as a police officer, I have been called out to every place under the sun. It's settled then, Lisa said quickly, probably trying to break the tension. I was relieved that she would be going to a hotel. The thought of sleeping with Annie while Lisa was in the next room was too much for me. I think Annie felt the same way. It was sometime after 9 when Alex showed up. Lisa went out to meet him, and Annie and I followed. He got out of the car, and after the customary greetings, he thanked us for getting Lisa back. He opened the back door and showed us his 2 children, who were sleeping in their car seats. Thanks again, Alex said. It's late, and Lisa says there is a hotel nearby, so we will go there and head back home in the morning. I think you will be okay, I said, but just to be safe, I wouldn't go straight home. Stay on Bill's boat for a couple of days. I doubt Gabriella will be going back there anytime soon. That's where Dad died, he said. I don't know about that. It's up to you, I said, but lightning doesn't strike twice in the same place. Not the best analogy, but I get what you're saying, he said. Keep your phone off. When you get somewhere safe, buy a burner phone and call me. I may need your help with something, I said. Okay, Alex said before driving off. Annie said, I want one of those. One of what? Kids. This audiobook continues on the next video. For more information on this book and others by this author, please visit charleshuss.com.